Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Brittany. I work in the office of a hospice agency. I'm actually a prospective nursing student. Hopefully I'll be accepted and go into the nursing program. I also am a CNA. I haven't been able to work as a CNA lately because of the COVID virus, but I'm hoping now at least to get some experience with my company that I work with eventually. And I am going to be starting a weight loss journey, which is one of the reasons why I decided to try to record my progress, my journey, kind of share it with everybody, see if anybody's going through the same thing. But this video specifically is 5 helpful tips for those who are in the CNA program or would like to become a CNA. We're just going to get right into it. The first one is reading the material. Study ahead of time and learn medical terminology. You don't have to learn everything, but at least brush up through the most common abbreviations, medical terminology that is used around CNAs. Definitely read all of the material. Don't just skim over it and think that, you're just going to go over it in class anyways. There are actually a lot of things that's inside the textbooks that isn't necessarily discussed in the class, but it could be helpful to you, and it also can help you understand the information a little bit more. And study. So if you are a procrastinator, the CNA program may not be for you. The reason I say that is because coming into the medical field, there are so many things to learn, so many things to be aware of. And if you are somebody who waits until the last minute and then kind of just crams all that information, it's just going to be too much all at once for you to actually completely understand that. So now tip number 2 is be on time. Actually, it's a two-parter. So be on time, but also be prepared. So some clinical sites, if you're not on time, they will not let you see patients and they will dismiss you at that moment. There are a lot of instructors who will allow you to be maybe 5 minutes late, but more than likely, no. So if you're a person who is constantly late going anywhere, and the reason is because you've never been there before or you are unsure of the territory, my advice would be to actually drive there a day or two ahead of time. Time yourself to see how long it takes for you to get there and kind of see which routes are better for you. I would say be there at least 20 minutes early, just so that way when you get there, you're familiar with the area. Maybe you can get a cup of coffee, put your makeup on, whatever you like to do, and then be prepared. If you show up to a clinical site sometimes, just like with being on time, if you're not on time, if you don't have certain items, they might actually dismiss you and send you on home. So make sure you have your gait belt, make sure you have a little pocket notebook, or something that you can put in your scrub pouch, and a pen, ID badge, anything that the clinical site said that is a requirement for you to have, make sure you have it. I would not bring a whole lot of things with you because some clinical sites actually don't have a break room for you specifically. With my CNA program, there was one clinical site where you had an area where you can put your things in, like your purse or your bag or whatever, but the other clinical site had nothing. So you literally had whatever was on you and then that was it. So if you didn't really have anywhere to put things, then it's going to be a lot of stuff in your pocket. So try to reduce the amount of stuff that you have or you are bringing with you to what is actually required. So the third one is practice. I can't say that enough. practice blood pressure, pulse, respiratory rate. If you have a job and you've got a lot of coworkers that are willing to help you out, you can test the blood pressure, pulse, respiratory rate. Every day of my job, I actually was like, oh, can I take your blood pressure? Oh, thank you. You know, I would pretty much do it daily, you know, whenever I could. I got lucky because I had a nurse that I work with. She's actually my director of clinical services. She had one of those teaching stethoscopes, so that way she can help me better do a job, or do a better job, that is. And so she would listen while I'm listening, and then when I didn't get it right, then she'll tell me, well, you need to listen for this. And then, or no, my pulse is actually this, and make sure you're only feeling these certain things. So it was actually very helpful to me, but just practicing in general is something that can help you a lot. Not only the vitals, but you want to practice the skills, making the bed, you know, doing bed baths, things like that. I mean, if you have a loved one that would be helpful, that's great. You know, like ask them to be in a bed while you make an occupied bed, you know, or something like that, just to practice your skills. And then also practice intake and output. You want to make sure that you're calculating them right, because you will be tested on it more than once, possibly, in your CNA program. Okay, so now the fourth tip is say yes. Would you like to do this? Yes. Would you like to do that? Yes. Everything, say yes. Always want to try to get your harder skills done before the easier ones, because if you wait and you're kind of, you know, scared, like I don't know if I can do that yet, or I don't know if I'm ready, and then it comes to the end of your clinical site, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I still need to get this done, and then it's harder for you to actually find somebody to do that for. So you want to make sure that if they ask you to do something, yes, you're scared, everybody's scared, we get it, just do it. It's very helpful, and you know, just diving right into it actually gives you a better experience too. And the more you do things and the more you repeat what you're doing, the better you can actually what's the word? The better you can do it, and the more you practice, the better of the outcome. You'll be more experienced, you'll be more comfortable in every setting that you're in. And so the last tip, number 5, is connect with your patient or your resident. So I would start with feeding time. Have a conversation with them, you know, get to know them. That'll make it easier for caring for them later on, because a lot of the times if a patient or resident doesn't know you, they feel very uneasy about letting you take care of them, you know. So connect with them, and then you might find it's actually really enjoyable. You know, I found out a lot of things about my patients and residents that I was taking care of when I was in the CNA program, and I just felt such a deep connection. And you know, I kind of miss them, not being in the CNA program, and that's, you know, part of the thing, that even though you connect with the patient, you won't get to converse with them later on or anything like that. It's just pretty much you're here now and you're in the moment. Get to know them, connect with them, and then it'll help you be a better communicator later on with your actual patients and residents that you would be taking care of, if that's the way you go. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you liked the video, please press the like button, and if you want to see more of my videos coming up about my weight loss journey or anything about nursing, then hit that subscribe button, and let's continue on this journey.